What's going on YouTube? It's Old Soldier coming at you from Robeson County, North Carolina. Just finished my 2 1/4 or 2.5, one of the 2 miles. Me and the old rebel dog went a walking. And of course, him being the hound dog that he is, decided that when a deer jumped across one of our pathways, that he wanted to go chase it. Tried to take me with him. Needless to say, it didn't feel too good. Got him under control, but it's interesting. I'm sorry about that. Nose itched. Anyway, hope everybody's having a wonderful start to their Friday. And as we get ready to go into the weekend, weather is getting warmer. Supposedly this weekend there's some kind of dust bowl coming from across the Atlantic that's supposed to affect the majority of the southeast. So if you're out and about and you notice your air quality is down, that's probably explaining why. They say it's like one of the largest ones to come across the Atlantic in 50 or 60 years, give or take. Supposedly it's kind of pushed south and it's going to come through the Gulf now, instead of straight on the East Coast. Either way it goes, it's they say every year all kinds of dust and sediment comes from the Sahara, it blows across the Atlantic and settles across the U.S. I believe that. But this just happens to be one of the years, it's one of the biggest ones that they've seen in 40, 50, 60 years. It's interesting. But anyway, folks, it's been a heck of a week, heck of a few weeks. Everything's going on, so stay safe, stay vigilant, stay armed. I can tell you that the mainstream media is fully immersed in telling you falsehoods and deceptions, so weigh everything that comes from them with a grain of salt and look for other alternative sources of information. Of course, they're going to marginalize and demonize anybody that is not fitting their liberal, left-leaning, progressive, democratic, socialist, communist narrative that they keep spewing. It's interesting that Jimmy Kimmel, and I told you this in a couple videos back, that Jimmy Kimmel would eventually issue an apology, and like I said, it would probably be a half-hearted or even criticizing apology, and thus he has. Now we've got Bubba Smollett, NASCAR driver, that claimed the others he saw a noose. Still trying to stick to a story even though it's been debunked. Trying to make more of it than what it is to make a name for himself. What got me was the fact the number of NASCAR drivers and teams that were duped into anyway. Of course, I've lost all respect for NASCAR. Some of their policy changes means that they've allowed this communist movement to get into their corporate headquarters. Now there's a few articles floating around. People are calling to change the national anthem. Why? Nothing wrong with the one we got, folks. Nothing wrong with it. Some are saying they're wanting to change it because it's not inclusive of all Americans. I call bullcrap on that. It fully is. It fully is. But they need to tone that rhetoric down. But anyway, folks, y'all have a good Friday. Be safe, be vigilant, be armed. Have a good weekend as best you possibly can. If you got to go somewhere, go with a group of like-minded people. Watch each other's backs. And until my next video, God bless, take care. Old Soldier out.